Hey guys, welcome to the Criminal Lineup. We are an independent YouTube channel that chronicles interesting history, mystery, and crime stories. If you would like the video and subscribe to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get started with the video. Serial killers currently on the loose. The Main Street Killer. Dayton, Ohio is a midwestern city located in the heart of the United States. Like many other factory towns, Dayton has had many of their major corporations either relocate or disband altogether. When the jobs go, the drugs and prostitution come in, and what were once thriving neighborhoods in the city turn into rows of vacant boarded-up houses. Two neighborhoods in the city, Santa Clara and North Riverdale, on the city's northwest side, are where the bodies of 4 Dayton women were found within blocks of each other between June and January, in yards or alleyways on Hudson, Norman, and Ernest Avenues. A 5th woman was found shot to death a mile south on Superior Avenue. The first victim, Jasmine Wadsworth, 39 of Huber Heights, was found shot to death in an alley behind an abandoned home at 24 West Norman Avenue on June 21, 2017. A little over a month later, in an eerily similar fashion, Amanda Fella, 34 of Miamisburg, was found shot to death in an alley next to an apartment building at 316 Superior Avenue on July 27, 2017. Neighbors in these communities have said that the huge number of vacant homes in these neighborhoods make it less likely for witnesses to see a killing or a body being dumped. The houses are being broken into by homeless drifters who at times use the vacant homes as drug dens. On September 15, 2017, the badly decomposed body of Deanna Prendergrass, 39 of Kettering, was found concealed underneath a discarded wooden door behind an abandoned garage at a vacant duplex located at 1517 East Hudson Avenue. 2 steak knives and a phone were found near the body. The final related case that the public knows of was Crystal Garcia, 30 of Dayton, who was found shot to death in the backyard of an abandoned home at 22 West Hudson Avenue on September 25, 2017. Although the deaths share many similarities, with the victims being dumped merely just a few blocks of one another, there has been little to no media coverage after the initial reports of their demise. The only response from the Dayton Police Department till today is for any person with information to contact Miami Valley Crime Stoppers. They are offering a $2,500 reward for information leading to the arrest of the suspect or suspects connected to the homicides of the 3 women that took place in the summer of 2017. Number 2. The Little Rock Slasher.
Neighbors in Little Rock, meanwhile, are on high alert tonight after Little Rock police noticed similarities between all 4 stabbings and said they were possibly connected based on the evidence.
Our Hunter Hoagland joins us live from South Gaines Street, just one of the locations where the attack suspect struck. Hunter, what do you have for us?
Well, neighbors I talked to tonight say they're terrified after hearing news of a possible serial killer on the loose here in the area. This here is the yard where one of the victims, Larry McChristian, was found stabbed to death back in August. I talked to neighbors tonight who say they won't be going anywhere alone until his killer is caught.
In the darkness of the night, there is a maniac on the loose among the public on the west side of Little Rock, Arkansas. The media has dubbed him the Little Rock Slasher, or LRS, because of his preferred weapon of choice when hunting victims. Police in Little Rock are searching diligently for the serial killer who has been linked to at least 4 random knife attacks, with 3 ending in the victim's death. It all started in the early morning hours of August 24, 2020. At approximately 2:03 a.m., the police arrived to the 2200 block of South Gaynor Street. They had received a 911 call from a neighbor who saw a man lying in the front yard of a home. Upon arriving, they found the lifeless body of 64-year-old male Larry McChristiansen, stabbed to death. The police initially searched for clues and found video surveillance of the killer from one of Mr. McChristiansen's neighbors. Although they think they have their man on camera, it is much too grainy to see any descriptive traits.
THV 11's Mercedes McKay live outside right now of the police department. Mercedes, where did these attacks happen and what have you learned so far about the person police are looking for?
Amanda, police say all of these attacks happened in the 12th Street Division. Specifically, the chief said in Midtown. Now let's get straight to our map where we also have the dates of the attacks. Starting back in August of last year and most recently on Wright Avenue just a few weeks ago. Police say all of the attacks have happened between 1 and 4 a.m. Also similar in all of these attacks, the victims have includes at-risk populations. Specifically, police use the word pedestrians. Now, let's show you the video police provided. They say the man in this video is who they are looking for. Someone who survived one of the attacks says he was an adult black male over 6 feet tall. He appears to be wearing a ball cap and dark gloves in the video. If you want to take another look at this video, we have posted it on thv11.com. The police chief issued a video on the attack saying he is stepping up patrols.
On September 24, 2020, about a month after the initial attacks, a friend visited Jeff Welch at 4218 West 12th Street in the wee hours of the night. To his surprise, he found his friend with multiple stab wounds to his neck. Medical personnel rushed to the scene, but 62-year-old Welch had succumbed to his injuries. Police now had 2 white males in their 60s, both killed in similar random fashion at early morning hours. With such similarities, they realized that they may have a serial killer on the loose. The LRS decided to lay low for the winter, and just when the public had begun to forget about the 2 random stabbings, another would come. On April 11, 2021, police found Deborah Walker stumbling near 19th and Marshall Streets. She had been stabbed over a dozen times and was immediately rushed to the University of Arkansas Medical School Hospital, where she was treated and examined for her stab wounds. Hospital staff found her wounds to be non-life-threatening. As the only known survivor of the LRS, the police were keen on getting information from Miss Walker on the killer. Unfortunately, the only thing Walker could remember was the assailant was a black male. Less than 24 hours later, and only 2 blocks from the stabbings of Miss Walker at 2710 Wright Avenue, the killer struck again, fatally stabbing Marlon Franklin, a 40-year-old African-American man. It has been nearly 5 months since the last victim was killed in Little Rock. The mostly safe community is now on alert, wondering when the Little Rock slasher will strike next. Little Rock Police Chief Humphrey said his agency has stepped up patrols in the Midtown area and the FBI is now assisting with the hunt for the killer. The police are investigating every tip and a $20,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction of the killer. Tipsters are being asked to call 501-371-4636. Number 3. The St. Louis Shooter. Although police officials remain tight-lipped, a string of murders which bear similarities to one another have the public in St. Louis, Missouri in fear that a serial killer is roaming their streets. The killer seems to be targeting vulnerable black females, with a number working in the sex industry. At one point in the fall of 2021, 7 black women were killed in just 7 days. Also, sex workers in the neighborhood have alerted police that someone is robbing their coworkers at gunpoint.
A question is buzzing around the community tonight. Is a serial killer stalking black women and more specifically prostitutes?
It comes after 7 black women have been shot in 7 days. And there's also been a trend of sex workers either being robbed or shot at.
It is something police are closely monitoring tonight.
By definition, a serial killer is a person or persons who commits 3 or more murders, at times with no motive, and typically following certain characteristics. Police have admitted that 3 of the murders that occurred between September 13th through the 19th, 2021 in St. Louis are believed to have been done by the same perp or perps. 2 of the 3 victims were black females, but their families have stated they were not involved in the sex industry. They include 16-year-old Marnay Haynes and 49-year-old Pam Abercrombie. The most recent homicide case connected was that of 24-year-old Casey Ross, who was left for dead after being shot by an assailant in a vacant lot. When police were asked if a serial killer was responsible for these deaths, Major Sean Dace of the St. Louis Police Department said, "Well, until we finalize the investigation, we don't want to categorize it as that right now." The first shooting occurred on September 13, 2021, in an unincorporated part of North St. Louis County. Marnay Haynes, 16 of Jennings, was found shot to death about 9:30 p.m. in the 9900 block of Glen Owen Drive, south of Chambers Road. The second victim, Pam Abercrombie, was shot on September 16th near the intersection of West Florence and East Prairie. She later died in the hospital. Pam was known to hang around the area and hustle. Her cousin, Talani Hamilton, insists that Pam was not a sex worker. Her cousin added, "We just want justice for my cousin and all the women murdered." After her death, police issued a public safety alert warning the public of a sudden spike of violent crimes on sex workers. News 4 spoke to another prostitute who knew Abercrombie. She asked that they don't reveal her identity and be known simply as Stacy. Stacy noted that she does not think there is a serial killer on the loose. She also said prostitutes contribute to the dangers they face by stealing from or antagonizing their customers. It's just the dumb things they do, so a lot of them, they endanger themselves. In 2020, 37 females were killed in St. Louis. As of October 2021, the number of women killed in St. Louis is already at 31. The final linked death happened on September 19th in the 1500 block of Manalfi Street, where police found 24-year-old Casey Ross dead in a vacant lot from a gunshot wound. The police have been tight-lipped and reluctant to release any more details to the public. They stated they are working with a number of local agencies as well as the FBI and ATF to solve these senseless murders.